So, oh. Welcome to Do the Talk podcast. This is a real estate podcast that teaches regular people how to invest in real estate. So, if you are looking to invest in real estate, you have come to the right place. My name is Hamed Lawal, and my co-host here today is Ibrahim Ojenide. We strive to make investing in real estate seamless as much as possible by bringing you practical experience and market research that can streamline your real estate investing. So keep in mind, this is not a get rich quick scheme. We always say this every week. You have to put in the work, and slowly you can build up a financial freedom. Ibrahim, it's another Friday. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Today is another Friday. As usual, we always be um, at your screen. We come here every Friday to keep up with the trend, what is going on with the real estate, how things can get better. We all want to be financially free. I'm sure that word doesn't sound strange to you guys. But I do the talk. Our goal is to come here and enlighten every one of us, see how we can learn and grow together. So we are always excited to be here every Friday. So we want you guys to know this is going to be an interactive. Actually, we won't make. You can ask question, but we really want to dive into what is going on in Indianapolis, how the real estate market is looking right now, what are the possibilities, and how we can tap into it. Basically, we are going to give you some insight on what is going on in real estate right now. But we want you to drop your questions, comment, concerns. If you have any, constructive, things you want us to focus on, we are open to that. Because Ahmed and I, we always love to learn. Okay. And we appreciate you guys for coming in. Ahmed, how can we start today? Because
Yep.
today is going to be very great because a lot of people want to know what is going on in the market. What are the
Yeah.
trends? What
s-
can they do to get
So,
into this market?
so really, it's very interesting right now, and the data are very interesting, and nobody can really say what's gonna happen next. So, well, yeah, we are here today to make sure we our audience is very aware of the trends and what is going on in our market, and how they can take advantage of the opportunities out there right now. It's always good to learn how to you know a lot of people will be waiting for a better market to invest, a better time to invest. I always tell them, if you prepare yourself and you work with data, you will be able to invest anytime. You will know when to go after a deal and when to pull away. So uh it's very interesting. Year over year in Indianapolis market, it's been little stagnant. The median sales price for a single family houses in Indianapolis right now, price wise, is 248,000. So
Wow.
248,000, and that is minus 0.3%. 0.03% year over year from last year. So basically, that price, decrease from what it was this time last year. That basically means that the same house that you can sell for, let's say 260 last year, now worth 248. So that's basically it. And it's not a huge shift in the market compared to other states. I don't want to go in details to that. If we have enough time, we will go into that tonight. But, the number of homes sold last month is 1,105,
Yeah.
and that is like 21% decrease year over year. I'm talking about last year, the number of homes sold in July was 1,398, but this year it decreased by 21%. So it goes from 1,398 in July, month of July, to 1,105. So considering everything going on in the economy right now, for me, that is not a huge shift. Of
Yeah.
course, we know that a lot of factor will be, contributing to that. So that really is not a huge shift if you are really aware of what the market is saying in other big city like Indianapolis. So median days on market is actually it does increase
Yeah.
to 8. So used to be, it was around 40 in February, just February of this year. It was around 40. March, it decreased to around 22, 23, and now it's 8. It was even like 5 in June, but now it's 8. Just like the number of homes sold last month,
Yeah.
which is the month of July. There's a lot of factor that goes into that as well. Days on market, it depends on the inventory that we have, the number of houses coming online for sale. It depends on the buyer. Do they have a buying power? When I say buying power, do they have the income needed? Do they have the job history needed? Do they have the reserve needed? Do they have enough credit? So these are the factors that is referred to as purchasing power. If any of them is missing, you might struggle to actually get a house. These are the things that you need in a traditional world to get a house. Get a loan to buy a house. So those are the factors that can affect all these numbers. But right now, what we are seeing according to Redfin data is, if you list your house on average in Indianapolis market right now, it takes 8 days to sell that house. Don't quote us. Your house is going to depend on the location, the condition of the house, and how much you are, willing to let it go for. So there's a lot of contributing factor to that as well. But on average, across the board in Indianapolis, it's about 8 days right now for the number of houses that is being sold. So that's a pretty good number in my mind. A lot of other big city like Indianapolis are struggling right now. If you know what I'm talking about, you will understand. They are struggling right now. Houses are sitting on there for 90 or more days. So that's a very good sign and a very solid data right there. So let's move on to how hot is Indianapolis market right now. Like, it's very competitive according to Redfin. I'm just going to read this verbatim. Many home get multiple offers, some with waived contingencies. So when they say waived contingency, that means you know what, we are not going to do inspection. We are going to close in 2 day, 2 weeks. Those are the typical things that you need to do in a house as a due diligence before you actually purchase the house. But with the competitive market that Indianapolis is still experiencing right now, some some buyer are even waiving those contingencies just
Yeah.
to make it favorable, for the seller to accept their offer, which is very very good. So which is a very very interesting thing to see in this economy. I'm not gonna, the time from last year is like day and night. It's kind of literally different from what we are experiencing last year. So seeing that, I I I at the beginning of this year, I project that we will be seeing a catastrophic real estate market by now. But Indianapolis is holding on so strong. We are still holding on so strong. So the average home sale for about 1% below the listing price go pending around 8 days. We already mentioned before. So if you can just give 1% of your price to your buyer, they are willing to go under contract as soon as possible. So it is very, very hot. Home can sell for 3% above the listing price in Indianapolis right now. That is how competitive it is. So let's say you list your house for 100,000. 3% of 100,000 is 3,000. So that can actually sell that house like 103 at the end of the day. So it's still very, 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 very competitive. So the sales to list price is 99.1%. That is very, very strong. I was listening to someone talking on Bigger Pockets like a few days ago. They are seeing like 70% sales to listing price. That is 30% cost cut on the listing price. So let's say you list your house for 100,000. That means the offer you'll be getting will be around 70,000. So that is 30% cut in Philadelphia right now, which is a fairly big city like Indianapolis as well. So these numbers are still very very strong, 99.1%. That means if you are listing your house for 100,000, you can get it 99. That just 1,000 below. It's not even 1,000. You know,
Yeah.
like 900 below what you are listing it for. So that's a very very strong number in my own opinion, and that is what we are seeing right now. Very very competitive, and uh, the number of homes sold above the listing price is 32.2%. Let me repeat that. The number of homes sold above the listing price is 32.2%. What that means is the people that list their house, let's say you list your house for 100,000, the chance of selling that house above the listing price is 32.2%. The chance of selling the house in Indianapolis right now, as of today's market, than how much you are listing it is still 32.2%. That is a very big number. Mind you, that even decreased year over year from last year. Last year, it was around 42.4%. But this year, it decreased to 32.2%. So let's say July last year, if you list your house, and the chance of you getting more money out of that uh, above what you are asking for was 47.4%. But July this year, from the data that Redfin is reporting, it's 32.2%. That's still pretty good. 32.2% is a very great number. So it's not it's not even feeling the economy. So I always tell people, everybody is coming into Indianapolis market to invest. A lot of people that we local investors are competing with are out of state investors. People that cannot invest in New York, that cannot invest in California, that cannot invest in big city like Seattle, Virginia. Those are the people that are coming to Indianapolis to invest. And that is because people follow data, right? They comes They come here to invest because their data is showing them that the market is still hot. The renter market is still hot. So cash flow is coming in. That is the goal of every investor, to be able to stay above the water. You don't want to be under water whereby your mortgage is 2,000 and your rent is 1,005. So you have to be coming out of your pocket every month 500 to own that house. That is not what you want. You want to be above the water, which is like having a cash flow that cover all your running expenses, monthly expenses for the house, the mortgage. If you are paying the trash lights from your pocket, that rent is covering everything. That is what you want. So Indianapolis is giving all investor that. That is why we see a lot of people moving in from these other states to invest here in Indianapolis. And before I go, let me talk about the home with price drop. That has increased year over year. So from last year to now, we have seen 2.4% increase, which give us 45.1% price drop. So that is, if you list your house for 120, the chance of you dropping it before you actually get someone that will uh come in and sign a contract to buy it with you is 45.1%. You know, and this is not something that should scare anybody away. The data is just there to enlighten us as homeowner of the delusional real estate world we have been living in the last 10 years. Things are now settling down now. The market has been trending upward for the past 10 years, straight, non-stop. So the market needs to cool off, and that is what is happening right now. It's not even going down. It's just that the amount that you can sell your house last year is different from what you are going to sell it right now, and that is directly correlated to the interest rate. There are no too many buyer out there buying. It's directly correlated to I've mentioned the interest rate, the competition out there. Like if I have multiple option of houses I can take a look at, it's going to be very, very easy for me to be like, you know what, this is what I'm ready to pay. And if you are not taking that, I'm just going to go to this next guy. So there's inventory and there's little buyer. So that is where the price drop comes in. So if you can lower your price, then you can get people that will, come in and sweep in their offer, and maybe it works for you, then you go under contract. So that is, for how hot is Indianapolis market is so far this year, and for Indianapolis market trend this so far this year. Ibrahim, do
Yeah.
you have anything for us today?
Yeah. So you gave us a lot of data, and it's very, very helpful. I'm sure our audience will appreciate it. Um, you said something about Indianapolis, that the we are seeing two. Did you say 2%? I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to stop you, but I said let me let you go before I come in.
What number
Um,
is that?
you mentioned something. I want to go
Home
back
with
real
price
quick.
drop.
No, the second one. Let's see. The trend. You mentioned that when you are doing the trend, that there's okay, yeah, 30,
Median
42%,
days
no,
on market.
32%, 32% that people will pay, the likelihood that someone will pay more than the listing price. When you
Yep,
mentioned that, I mean, maybe a lot of people didn't get it, but that is very huge. Like, this is not even like
it is.
someone is paying the exact price, but paying even more than what is listed for. And I can tell you, as for right now, I have a client that has to do that and is doing that, because without doing that, the client won't get the property. So the market is still strong in Indy. Literally still strong, especially good area, west side, some area in the north, some area in the south is still strong. If your house is in a good condition, you priced it right, you're gonna get somebody, willing to pay extra to get that house. And again, another one that you mentioned, let me see, the second one about the trend, the media, yeah, 8 days on the market. That is huge
Yep.
because there are a lot of cities now, like even New York, some city in, which one did I hear? I think Arizona, or like a lot of city are not doing well, and that is why we kept saying in this podcast that real estate is local. It's very local because what is happening in Texas may not necessarily happen in Indiana, and it's all driven by the locality, demand and supplies in that locales. That's what will determine what the condition will be in that area. Now, not to mention the investors, the people that are coming from another state. And this will bring me to the next one, which I'm about to talk about: migration. You see, we look at Indianapolis from afar and you would think, oh, nothing is indie. It's just indies. Nothing is running. You know what I mean? Like we look at it as a corn city. You know that meat, like corn city. Like there's nothing going on in Indy. But what we are seeing is that starting from, like, when around that COVID era, time, people realize that Indy is actually a good city to live. Like, especially when people are able to do their job remotely. Why
Yep.
would I stay in Chicago when it's very expensive, or in New York, or in Seattle, Washington, or like California, and I can actually do my job in Indy or anywhere else and get more buck for my get more property for my buck? Why would I stay somewhere else? It's just like I'm paying money unnecessary since I can do my job anywhere I am, and I'm getting paid the same amount. So people start realizing that, and they start moving to different states. I mean, this is not just about Indy, but tonight we are focusing more on Indy. So let me go into the data. What we are seeing is that people are actually moving to Indianapolis. Okay, so across the nation, about 0.57% home buyer, they moved into Indianapolis from outside, the metros. Okay. Um, Especially people from New York, people from Seattle, Washington, Los Angeles, even people within Indiana, they are going into Indianapolis because if you look at the job index in Indianapolis, I mean, this is part of it, is still strong. Indianapolis is a fair and decent area to live because the pressure is not as crazy as some other cities. Okay, look at even people from San Francisco, they are moving here. People from Washington D.C. In fact, people from Washington D.C. are moving to Indianapolis. Okay, of course, immigration is move out. We're not gonna say because Indy is getting the attention or people are moving here, that doesn't mean that people are not moving out. But my point tonight
Yep.
is more people are moving in than people moving out. So
Yep.
we are seeing about 78% of home buyers, they keep Indianapolis. They want to stay in the Indy metropolitan area. Some people are moving to Chicago. You know, like I said, immigration is back and forth, but some people are moving to Chicago. People are moving to Florida. And I'm surprised people are moving to Sarasota, Cape Coral, Florida, you know.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking Florida is already expensive. What you going to Florida? But here's the thing. Like I said, immigration thing, you cannot decide where people are going. You can go to Florida if you have extra money and or you like the life in Florida. Why not go there? So I'm seeing a lot of Florida cities, people from India are moving to Florida. I used to think people are moving from Florida to Indy, like a lot more from Florida to Indy than people going back to Florida. However, I think Redfin proved that I'm actually just overestimating or just guessing, get assuming without looking at the data. I'm glad we are looking at the data, and like I said, here we are here to learn and grow together. So um,
Yep.
we're seeing people from India going to Destin, Florida, San Antonio, Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, I'm not surprised about Georgia because it's one of the city that you just want to be. Georgia is a place where when you go there, I mean, without going there, it has this um far attraction, like just the name itself is it sounds like
Yep.
okay, let me go see this city is probably happening, let me go see what's going on in this city. And many people that have been there, they say yeah, it's a decent city, it's nice. So I'm not surprised people are going to Atlanta, Georgia, Orlando, Florida. Of course, people like that's a it's a nice place to visit and see how things are going there. Anyway, so what we are saying is that people are going out of Indy, but less are going out, more are coming in. That's the point tonight. So if you look at, you see here, so people within even Indy are coming to Indianapolis. People within Indiana are coming to the city, which is Indianapolis. People from Kokomo, people from Evansville, Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Lafayette, Indiana, Bloomington, Indiana. They are coming to the main metropolitan area, which is the capital of Indiana, Indianapolis. That tells you, Indy is one of the biggest and most attractive city in Indiana. I mean, I'm not surprised. There's more resources. I mean, everyone is aware that the Marion County, that's the biggest county and that's the most resourceful county in Indiana at this point because they serve a lot of population. And so and the city office is in downtown, so of course a lot of people would like to stay here and all that. So the next thing I want us to look at is the insight, the market insight. um no, I'm going to the wrong one. Okay, all right, let's see. Okay, so I mean, I talked about the migration. What is I keep keeping on the inside, it's going to the next one. um All right. So what we are seeing now, let me go to my boy and give you some data there. So what we are seeing now is that we are seeing more houses coming into the market. Um,
Boom.
of course, it was way better than that before, but we saw drops from like March. The overall house in Indianapolis dropped to 191. April it dropped. May got worse in May 2023. June, it's getting better a little bit. July, it's getting better. But August is way better. It's like double. It's more than double of what we saw in July. So we are seeing more houses on the market. And the reason why, we are experiencing such, housing, inventory shortage, it's because, I mean, let's look at it this way. Practically, someone who got a mortgage for three under 3% or 4% when he or she bought the home,
Yeah.
and that same person would like to get another home. However, the same person was told that he or she will be paying, will get a mortgage with 6%, 7%, or even 5.9%, which means he or she will pay more monthly than the current home that he or she is owning.
Yep.
It's like you sell your house, you are paying 2,000. Now you go into a house of 2,600, you know, or 3,000, or depending on um the price, the amenities and everything. So higher interest rate, it increases the payment plan, it decreases your purchasing power, and of course, it put some stress on the budget. So many people, many homeowners are trying to wait and see what will happen. If with the rate comes down, with will the government change their, Fed, Federal Reserve, will they reduce the interest rate? Would there be any intervention by the government so he or she can be able to buy a house after selling the one that the person is currently on? Because it's just not so suitable when you have a house of 4% or 3% interest rate, and now you have to jump to 7%. So I can reason with that. But what we are seeing is like people are getting like, okay, well, it is what it. They're getting used to it. We are seeing more houses on the market, and we are seeing more affordability. Like we are the houses we are seeing now. We are seeing low cost, maybe I should say average cost. I shouldn't say low
Yep.
cost. We are seeing a lot of bungalows, ranch, something from like 215 upward. We are seeing on the market now. Um, if I want to go with the MLS statistic, the average right now is about 247. 247,039 dollars. That's the average home on the market right now. Um, then the sold homes right now, it's also it got better. I mean, at first it was way tough. We couldn't A lot of people are having our time to sell. Now it's changing, it's getting better. I mean, we want it to be better than this, because
Yep.
now it's better than July, but we still want it to be better than this. um let's go
Yep.
here. Another thing I want to talk about is that we are not giving you this data to scare you off the market or to make you feel like, okay, this is not the right time for you. The fact is, and this is coming, genuinely from me, this is the time to buy a house because the price you are getting in a reduced price or a steady price. Not like if the interest rate comes down, I can bet you'll pay more for that same house because it will
Yep.
create more demand. A lot of people are standing by waiting, just like you are waiting. A lot of people are waiting. So if you think that the rate comes down and I'll jump into it, believe me, some people have more statistic or more access to this information than you do, or
Yep.
some people are more, they have room to explore than you do. So if the rate comes down, they will jump into it before even you even know that the rate has come down. And in that case, you will definitely pay more than what the price is. But the other way around, you can get the house now. When the rate comes down, you refinance. Now, I'm not telling you to jump into buying a house. You have to do your assignment. And we always talk about that on Do the Talk. We don't want anybody to just jump into buying property. We want you to do your assignment. Okay. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm free. Ahmed is free. Ask question, see if it's something you can. This is, because no matter what the condition is, even if the interest rate comes to 2%, you still have to do your assignment. So because it's 7% or 8%, that's not the main reason why we are saying do your assignment, because every property you buy, you should have plan A and plan B. Plan A is, your intention. Plan B is the exit strategy. Like if the first one does not work, what will be the second option? Is it in the good location that I want it to be? Is this would I am I going to be able to cash flow on this property? Okay, I don't. Let's say your model is not to get too much cash flow. However, you want appreciation. Okay, is this area going to appreciate enough for what for my goal? Is it going to appreciate enough? You have to check all that, and then that's why we are here to educate you and guide you. If you need that help, we are free to do that anytime. So the point is,
Absolutely.
do your assignment, but this is the time to buy property because the rate, when it comes down, you have the opportunity, just like anyone else, to refinance as long as you keep your credit. credit score, you keep it good, keep your credit history intact as much as possible. You can refinance, and your rate will come down, then your payment will come down, hopefully. By doing that, you've already secured the price of the house, it won't change. The only thing that will change now is your payment will change, and of course, your wallet will be more happy. You'll be happier than you know, than it used to be, because I mean you have extra money in your wallet. So let's take this analysis, and look at it holistically. We don't want you to be scared. Ahmed, so I mentioned that now we are seeing more houses on the market. To, on my side, I felt so good
Yep.
because the major problem, part of the major problem was before was we there's not enough houses on the market. You know, you want to buy, but I mean, you have to see something to buy before you buy. You cannot just
Yeah.
stay and yeah. So now that more houses are coming on the market, what do you think? Is that not a good news? I mean,
It's absolutely a good news. But we have to be careful.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
have to be very careful.
yeah.
It is a good news. Sellers are gaining more confidence in the market,
Hmm.
and they are like, you know what? Maybe this interest rate is has come to stay. So maybe we have to adapt to it, just like
Yeah,
COVID-19, right?
yeah,
We got used to it, and everybody just move on like nothing happened in the
yeah,
last 3 years. So
yeah.
uh so seller are realizing that, and they are coming back into in packs, because the number you shared is very very amazing. Like the jump from July to August is a huge deal. So I think that is a good thing on the seller's part. That can be a bad news on the real estate side, but good for an investor. Let me
Hmm.
explain my statement. If we have a lot of inventory and not enough buyer, that can be bad on the market,
Yeah.
because now that means our days on market that is sitting at 8 right now will
Oh,
increase. And talking of days on market, I check why you are talking. New York right now have 59 days on market.
I told you that is worse in other states. Very worse.
So they have 59 days on market compared to 8 days on market for
Yeah,
Indianapolis house.
yeah,
So if we come here and tell you that 8 days on market is actually pretty good,
yeah,
don't think we are trying to, talk you into buying real estate or anything like that. We are sharing the facts.
yeah.
It's just pure fact. New York is at 59 days on market right now. So back to what I was saying, if we have a lot of inventory and there's no enough buyer, then that means a lot of houses are going to be sitting on market. That will cause sellers to be frustrated and be like, "Oh, what am I doing?" And if they are on contract with real estate agents, now they have to negotiate themselves out, or they have a mutual agreement to part ways. I don't want to go into details on that, but that can be, it depends. But the good thing is we are seeing more buyers coming to market as well,
That's good.
because with the jump of the inventory from July to August, if there's no enough buyer, then by now we're probably going to have a lot of houses sitting on market, and the days on market is going to go up, right? So still having the days on market that pretty low tells us that buyers are coming back to market as well, which is very, very good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think people are gaining more confidence. They,
Hmm.
they are listening. They are listening to trend, listening to podcasts like this. That we
Yeah,
always come out to enlighten people on what is trending and what they need to do at certain situation. We always come here on every Friday. Uh, it is very very important to stay updated in this market, because today market is going to be like very different from tomorrow. And if you think you know something today, you might want to double check tomorrow, because that thing might have changed. So that is why you need to stay on top of the game, listening to podcasts, keeping a open mind, and like Ibrahim said, it has never been a better time to buy, just because of less competition, and you now have a little wiggle room to negotiate. Indianapolis is still a seller's market.
Yeah,
Don't get deceived. However, you now have a little wiggle room because just unlike last year, where they are having 11 offer on one house, now they are having two, three. Those two, three, guess what? They might just be someone that wants to buy the house and live in the house that doesn't even have the purchasing power,
yeah,
like Ibrahim discussed earlier. So there's room, if you can be patient, to negotiate and wedge yourself into a lot of deals right now if you have the money. But if you don't be worried about it. We've always discussed creative financing on here. That is what we discussed uh last week. So having said that, Ibrahim, let me throw this question to you from
sure,
our number one fan. He
sure.
said, what trend are you seeing as far as new build versus
Mhm,
renovated buildings in central Indiana market?
mhm,
Are
mhm.
people moving towards new build
Yeah,
now
yeah,
than before? Can you help
yeah.
us
That's
answer
it.
that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So on the MyBall website, they don't necessarily pick out like or mention new or renovated houses. What they look at is the general like houses, not just renovated and moved in. But if you ask me about what I'm seeing individually, then I can tell you my opinion. But statistically, my board doesn't really specify like this is new, this is renovated. They don't do that. What they do is what is coming in. I mean, what is listed, what is sold, what is pending, what get expired. That means nobody pay for it, or nobody make an offer or successfully close on the house, so that will be expired, or which one was withdraw from the site. um so I'm gonna answer you based on my own opinion, since I don't have a statistic to back it up. What I'm seeing is that certain demographics, they prefer to buy new construction, and this is more of immigrant in general. And when I say immigrant, I mean Indians, Nigerians, Ghana, Togo, Mali, um people from like Venezuela. Like, immigrants like to buy brand new house if they can afford it, or when they can afford it, they like to buy brand new house. um in the US, people that are, like maybe Caucasians, or people that are, they have a stronger root with the, US system. They don't really care too much about like it has to be brand new. I mean, I'm not saying they don't buy. I'm just saying in general, the immigrants prefer to buy brand new. I mean, new construction. Um, and another reason why we are seeing more of immigrant going towards the brand new, it's because mathematically it kind of makes sense. Let's look at it this way. A house, like pre-existing home of 300,000, and you are getting a rate of like maybe 6.9, 6.5 because the house is on the market, compared to someone who approached the seller, the builder rather, and this that same I mean, the house may be even 350, even though it's more than the 300,000. However, the builder are subsidizing the rate. They are buying down the rate for their home buyers. So in that case, I've seen a 4.99 rate before. In fact, Lena is doing 4.99 now. Last 3 weeks, one of my clients got, they're gonna give him 4.75. we, I think we'll close in the next 2 weeks or so. 4.75. Now compare someone who is getting 4.75 versus someone who is getting 6.9 or 7.5 or 7.25. Even if the one that is getting 4.75, the purchase price, even if it's higher than the one who is getting, the person on the market who is getting 7.25 or something, you will realize that the monthly payment for the one we're getting 4.75 or 4.99 will be way better, or very close to someone who is getting I actually, let me just do the math here. Let me just it's a quick something I can do real quick. So if you buy a house of 300,000, and let's say the same down payment of 20%, just for sample sake, and the rate is 7% for you because you are outside, you're buying on the MLS. And see, okay, you are going to be paying 1,935 because you are putting down 20%, and the rate is 7%. It's going to be 1,935. Now let's say someone else is buying a brand new house for 350,000, not even 300, 350,000, and he or she is paying 20% just like you are doing, and the person is getting 4.99. The payment will be 1,853. So actually, this person is paying lesser than you are, even though you are purchasing a house of $50,000 less than this person. So when you do that math, you realize if you like a new build and you can afford it, just go for it, because we don't know when the rate will come down. I mean, we are optimistic. We are, we believe one day the Fed and the Wall Street and everybody that are controlling this rate, they will try to do something to make it come down. And but we don't know when. Now you have the opportunity to buy brand new, which is that's what you really love anyway. The new construction now, because the builders are subsidizing, buying down the rate. It does make sense to just go for the new construction. You have warranty, you have structural, I think 10 years, you have other warranties. I'm not here to market the builder, so anyway, so I don't need to go into all that. But the point is, people are going towards the new just because it makes sense financially, and they feel more comfortable that at least this is something. It will take some time before it breaks down. Nothing's gonna be perfect, even if it's brand new. But at least when it breaks down, you have warranty people to call to help fix the house. Now, so to answer your question about the trend, I think yeah, more immigrants are buying new home versus the home they have to renovate and live in there. Just because, I mean, if they can afford it, they're going for it just because it makes sense financially, and it just make you feel good. Like, okay, this house is gonna last long before breaking down. Um, so I don't know if I answered my our audience question. I mean, what angle do you think, Ahmed? Do you have anything you can add to this, or?
Yeah. So, from my point of view, I think everything you said is correct. Uh, we, financially, if you're gonna make such decision, I'll say you go with new build as well, and uh, particularly with this kind of market, every penny you can gain back in mortgage on your mortgage is going to be crucial to
Mhm.
your finances going forward. So with your analysis is very very detailed and practical and very very self-explanatory why someone will want to go with new build. And looking at Indianapolis market, how every suburb, you know I can say categorically where I'm living right now. In the last 5 years, it was like confused, right? So looking at how new build are just everywhere right now, people are pushing uh the city out. So a lot of all these surrounding city, like Indianapolis is a circle, and
Yeah.
a lot of all these surrounding city are witnessing a huge when I say huge, I mean huge
Influx.
development right now,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
people are kind of moving in and there's
Yeah.
no enough space again. So it's pushing the people that are here already
Mhm.
outward a little bit. And how can they do that? They cannot be sleeping on the cornfield, right? They have to build another houses. So new build is just surfacing all around Indianapolis right now, and that really explain what you just said. So uh, why you are mentioning that, I was looking up Seattle. This
Hmm.
is one of the big markets during COVID,
Yeah.
and right now Indianapolis is one of the top 10 cities that people are moving to from Seattle. And I just mentioned earlier, like New York it's is having 59 days on market right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seattle people are moving to Indianapolis from Seattle, so that is a very huge indication, say telling us that we have the job, a
Yeah.
very diverse job. We have
Very
Rolls Royce,
diverse.
we have Salesforce
Amazon.
in
Yeah.
downtown, Amazon. We have the job, right? Very diverse industry are here, high paying jobs, but
Yeah.
our markets still very steady. The rents are not
Yeah.
as crazy as all these other cities. So
Yeah.
which makes logical sense for everybody else to be trying to get a bite of it. You mentioned earlier that people are going to Florida. Those are the old people. They are going there to retire. That is basically what is happening. A lot of them just want to have this beach view, enjoying their
Hmm.
retirement, and
Yeah.
so it's leaving it the city in the hands of the youth and the adults taking control, because we are having all this massive company coming in, building groundbreaking downtown every time you drive by downtown. That's downtown. I was telling someone today, downtown, to me, for me, downtown Indianapolis used to be a ghost. Ghost, how will
Downtown.
I,
Go City.
yeah, yeah. If you go there like 7 8 years ago at night, you will be scared because it's scary. Nobody is there and all the lights is off, and you will be like, oh, I need to go home. But if you go downtown Indianapolis right now, you know there is construction everywhere, there is
Yeah.
light everywhere. Even at 11 12 a.m, it still looks like everybody is still out there partying, enjoying their life.
Yeah.
So the life is coming out. The newer young generation are
Yes.
taking over, and
Yeah.
that is really changing the game a lot. And a lot of all this industry prefer Indianapolis to all these surrounding big city like Chicago,
Yeah.
because one, you can have all the employee that you will have in Chicago here, because there's a capable hands. There's a lot of university that is producing capable graduates
Graduates.
that can take over the job. So it's just logically, it makes sense why
Yeah.
we are witnessing all these stable markets instead of the downturn every other big market are experiencing right now. So yeah, that will be my input on there. I think it's all logically makes sense, and yeah, it's we always encourage our audience. We don't need to wait. You can always buy real estate, and now is the time, just because the competition has faded away. The competition is not, I mean, you're still going to pay some. If it is a good deal, definitely expect more people to come through, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as before. It's not as
Yeah.
before, where you will see people paying, difference of 20,000 more just to get a deal.
Yeah.
Why you
Yeah.
are still struggling to come up with the asking price. A lot of people will come straight, adding 20,000 more than the asking price. That kills your offer right away. But right now it's slowing down. It's kind of flat. Inventory are coming back in. Sellers are coming back in. Very great and interesting data today. Yeah, we I think we hit it on the head. Indianapolis is booming. The life is just amazing right now. And if you want to invest, there's no need to wait. There's no need to wait. Now is the time, because
Yeah.
if you wait for that interest rate to come down, what will happen is more people will come back into the market.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
people mean more competition. You want to strike. when your competition is sleeping. You
Yeah.
don't want to wait for them to wake up and then you'll be like, okay, let's fight now. Bro, what, what are you doing when they are sleeping? So yeah, that is just the basic things that we trying to encourage people to do. Take your chance. Don't wait. Buy real estate and wait. Don't wait to buy real estate. That is from Yamu. Well, yeah. Any last you know chime in, Ibrahim, before we go?
Yes, yes. I mean, as much as we want people to, get in there, buy real estate, we want you to do your assignment, and at least you watching us tonight is a sign of, that you are ready to, you are taking the steps. Um, of course, you're not gonna know everything at this, on the spot. You have to, contact people, talk to people, see how you can get, advice, some guidance, some, if you, have, or if you don't have time to do this, there are people that are willing to help you, by, just holding your hands and show you how to do this. If you don't have the time, you don't even have time for someone to hold your hands, of course you can still invest in real estate. You don't have to be the active person that is, monitoring the contractor or getting this, getting that. People are out there that can help you. And so we want you to go out there, jump into it after making your research. Don't be scared. Get into it, buy property, you're always going to learn in while you're doing it. You cannot know everything from the beginning. Because I see a lot of people, it's like
Yep.
analysis and paralysis. They want to know everything from start. It's just not possible. Experience is the best teacher. Um, of course, what
You
we
have
are
to have
doing
it
here is
all
to
figured out.
reduce, yeah, yeah. Of course, what we are doing here is to reduce the kind of pain you face, because all the things we have experienced, all the mistakes we've made, we don't want you to make the same mistake. That's why we are here. So anyway, if you want to reach out to Ahmed, what can they? How can they reach out to you?
So you can reach me on my Instagram. I do have two Instagram. I always repeat this. One is man like HM. That's my personal account. But my official account for real estate is official Ahmed Lawal.
Great,
Official Ahmed Lawal. You can always message me. Anytime when it comes to real estate, I'm very very responsive. I like talking about this, and I'm really really willing to help. Yeah.
of course,
Ibrahim,
of
if they
course.
want to reach out to you, where can they reach
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
you?
straight up, straight up. It's IB Realtors. It's on the screen. IB Realtors. Go there, DM me. Just tell me, hey, this is so 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 person. I have a question about real estate, and you see how
Yep.
fast I would reply you, because I just like to hear that investment. I mean, even if you are not ready to invest, if you just want to ask general question about real estate, that's fine. Um, I'm just letting you know that anything real estate, I'm very interested in it. So,
Yep.
guys, that's it. Do you have anything else to say? I just want to thank you.
Well, the final word will be: if you don't learn, you don't grow.
Yeah,
Keep learning, keep increasing your knowledge 1% every day. If you can do more than that, that is fine.
yeah,
When we say keep learning, I'm not saying go back to school and get your PhD and get your doctorate. What I'm saying is focus your energy in income producing uh, knowledge.
yeah.
Focus your energy on income producing knowledge, and keep learning, keep buying, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace out. Hello, Rami. Yeah. That's the one. Once you podcast, oh, anyway, then call me. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. É importante. É igual